All right, I got the broadcast going.
Thank you. With somebody video indexing? Anybody?
Yeah, I can do that.
Miguel, you're in column H.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
So Lucy's doing video indexing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on
Start.
to. Do we still need to do the? Do we still need to do the about the priorities and evaluation, or are we done with that?
No, we're doing the sheet now to see what gets prioritized.
Okay, so we're ready to just finish up the
So
desired
we're
outcomes. All right, so
Excuse me. Yes.
so desired outcomes. All right, so the first thing would be this getting people paid for the month. That is certainly not a desired outcome that we can accomplish during
I'm
the
doing
meeting.
it now.
So I would say something more like plan for getting people paid. That sound good?
I'm working on it now, Jay. I'm typing.
I'm not sure about that one either. So the next one is this to suspend the policy regarding payroll workers getting paid and things like that. I mean, I would say here we would just address the proposal of paying payroll workers, right?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do in proper language.
Well, but you don't need to be proper language because it's not a proposal.
Okay.
So I would
I
just
got the
strike that.
proposal
Are there
here.
any other desired outcomes?
Yeah. To find out the results of the second round of HR.
Review
Voting.
results from second round of HR.
I mean, it's only been out 2 days. I don't know how many people have voted on it, but we need to review it.
Cool.
We need to discuss whether we're going to go into a soft stop if we don't figure it out today. Wednesday, if I remember correctly, need to address that situation, I guess, also.
I couldn't hear that. Do you want to write that down?
Whether we go soft or hard. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't hear. Let me try it. Do I need it? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
No.
Did you guys hear Steve?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, what did he say?
I'm writing it.
Do we go into hard or soft stop? Okay, well, that'll be part of the second round of the HR board. Okay?
Okay. Then I'll
Cool.
leave it off.
So, well, no, you could leave it there. It's fine. But it's like a sub part of that. All right, so then our internal setup goals. This is nothing. That. Delete. So, I mean, it looks to me like nobody updated this and got it organized and ready. So, I mean, I just don't see why we would. I think we should just.
I did ask, but okay. All right.
I mean, does anyone have I mean, obviously, we need to focus on the payroll. We need to focus on the budget. And then maybe from here we can do a view up. We can go over view ups. View ups are pretty cool. So view ups and training on a view up. All right. So how about that? We just do payroll and budget, and then we can do a view up. A view up is basically, you have setup and you have wrap up, and a view up would be like kind of stepping back and going to the vista, and checking things out, and then we can reconsider our agenda. Okay. Is there anything else? Any other topics that people want to go over? Other next steps?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
And no.
Okay, cool. All right. So Looking good. So let's go on to well, let's just ask the question. Are there any objections to the desired outcomes and the topics?
No.
Not from my end.
All right. And then before I forget, oh, this is just all for cobalt? Cool. That's great. Oh, weird. Where is the positions list? Oh, it must be down here. Okay, so here under session roles, meeting roles and responsibilities. See this link right here?
Mm-hmm.
That should link and go over the, the steps and what the roles and responsibilities for each position during the session. And this should also have the link to the recordings that Steve was talking about. YouTube video recording process right here at the bottom.
Thank you. I will look
Cool.
at it later.
Okay, so
Thank you very much.
and then I also wanted to add view ups in here because it is definitely a great thing. View up.
So keep whistling Dixie. I live in Dixie. Now.
Funny. Okay. So we're going to the first topic is payroll. So let's do payroll first, and then we need budget second. So for me, my recommendation here would be to start. Oh no, what did I do? There we go. So my recommendation would be to review the policy and then to, create proposal and then vote.
I have a proposal.
Is your proposal for you or for all the payroll workers?
For all the payroll workers.
Great. Okay. So yeah, there's a copy and paste your proposal. So I just put, update proposal as needed, review / update proposal. So shall we go over the policy real quick?
Yeah.
So the what of the policy is simple, that payroll workers get paid last. The why is very simple. In the past, when payroll workers get paid, then payroll slows and stops as a priority, even when others haven't gotten it. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it on the policy. Any other questions about the policy? It's pretty simple policy.
Question was, and we talked about it after you left, or somebody, Lucy, I'll beat it right up. When that policy was made, I don't think we anticipated a problem like pays are being put under investigation and not being, and even though we're trying, having to take all this time to set up Payoneer and then trying Zoom, I don't think the policy was made to handle this situation, because the policy was made because people weren't, after they get paid, weren't coming to work at, on payroll anymore. But I think this is an out of the ordinary situation and needs out of the ordinary answer, that it shouldn't be handled like the other things because of the situation. Because it wasn't anything that we could control. I mean, it was out of our control.
Well, I mean, in my perspective, Payoneer was literally the first requested payment type. From the very beginning, people asked for Payoneer, and we've always had it on our task list.
But it was never
it was just not prioritized, you know, for payroll setup, right? So in the context of
I agree with the policy, but the thing is, when the account like a pioneer has a problem, that cannot be applied to payroll workers not to get paid because of the problem for a certain account to get other people paid.
I say again, Lucy. Say it one more time. Can you say it one more time?
I say I agree with the policy, but when certain account like a pioneer has a problem, we cannot just apply that to workers, payroll workers, pay them until we get that is work. It's not working, and it is not in our policy. There is nowhere written that if in case of any account has a problem, a payroll worker cannot get paid until that gets clear.
Okay, so I mean, the other aspect of our system is that, you know, if a payroll worker needs to get paid outside of the policy, they simply make a proposal for, you know, how much and, you know, get paid, right? So, and then it's approved. Or not, right? So I guess my question is like, not my question, how would you say, what I'm hearing from you guys in terms of your stance is that you guys just want to do away with the entire policy and that nobody wants to request payment and that we just want to pay everybody.
No.
Okay,
we're asking to suspend the policy for this payroll cycle and get people paid on, you know, because it might take another 3, 4, 5 days, but, you know, people need to get paid to pay their bills. So we're requesting to suspend the policy due to out of the ordinary circumstances. Now do away with the policy, just suspend it for this one time and let everyone get paid in, you know, as quickly as possible. You know, that's basically. I mean, we're not asking for permanent doing away with the policy, but this is, you know, it's been 3 payroll cycles and some people haven't paid anything, and that's a long time when you have bills to pay. You know, it's
for sure, but also nobody has requested payment either, right? So except for you, Steve, and we paid you, right? And other people who requested, right, we got them paid. So what I'm trying to say is that we've addressed this for about an hour. That's the way I would look at it, right? So the whole concept that, oh, it's been 3 payroll cycles and all this stuff, we paid a lot of people over the last 3 payroll cycles, and anyone could have proposed on our policy that they wanted to be paid and we could address it, and that happened an hour ago. So I feel like, you know, I don't think it's personally targeted towards me, but I mean, overall, we have a way to address it and we're addressing it. And so I think we're within the context of the policy. So the idea of just throwing the policy out with the bathwater and just like, or the baby out there with the bathwater and like just getting rid of the whole thing and paying everything, for me seems a little overkill. Maybe another option. Let's just like look at some options. Geez, I feel like these are almost 2 separate proposals, or am I missing something? Proposal: make one-time extension for payroll workers and employment with pioneers out of their hands. 2, the proposal to pay the workers now because they're overdue 2 cycles. And blah, blah, blah. This sounds more of like a why, right?
Okay.
Yes.
So it's not really a problem. When a certain account like, and this is more just like, you know, discussion. Okay. So option 1, proposal. Option 2, proposal. And this is more of like what we called, like you're saying, suspend. You know, work within current policies, list each worker's name, you know, how much owed and how much they need paid, and approve.
Well, that works.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, that's that would be within the existing proposal, as opposed to option 1 is just to suspend it entirely and just pay everybody, even though we're not paying the Pioneer people or whatever. But you know, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
Regarding that proposal, what if let's say that we cannot just come always, maybe if we have a problem with a certain account and other people are not getting paid, we need to propose a proposal. Oh, it's like we punish if, let's say if one remedy is not working. People from other world cannot be stopped from paid. Other workers, then they cannot be stopped from paid until one remedy work. No, that doesn't make sense. And we cannot punish people to go and make a proposal so that we pay them. We just pay them. This is not the problem. It is a problem that needs to be sorted, and other people need to get paid.
Well, if the work got, I mean, I understand what you're saying, Lucy, but if the work got done, it wouldn't be a problem. But the work doesn't get done. So, basically what I hear from Lucy is that just pay people because we pay them, which makes really sense. And basically what I'm saying is that if the work got done, that would not be a problem. But the work doesn't get done. So let's say World Remit went down. There's a massive amounts of work to transfer everybody in World Remit to new payroll systems, just like we had to do with Payza. And that work needs to get done. And I think that our payroll policy is actually one of the reasons why we're so close to getting our ACH set up for Payoneer. Because we've been trying to do that for literally 9 months now. And it happened. And in my relationship, in being responsible for it, I don't think it would have gotten done without our current policy, because we've had like 5 people working on it. I don't think everyone would be working on it if everyone just got paid, and just, the only people not getting paid would be the Pioneer people, which would be like 4 people, and then would be totally shit out of luck, But I mean, if we say to someone that this is no longer a payroll option, then they either have to choose another payroll option or they can no longer work. That would be the other policy, right? So, so if as an organization we conclude or decide a payroll option is no longer available, then you must choose another option or not get paid, right? So like, let's say we decide to not do Payoneer. We could just make a decision right now. We could propose option number 3. Option 3, Payoneer is no longer a viable option, and we do not support it, period. And then everybody wants Payoneer. It's like, sorry, it's no longer part of our payroll system. Does that make sense? So then it's no longer our responsibility to do it, right? The fact that we all are agreeing to do Payoneer means it's our responsibility, and we're telling people they can do Payoneer.
I think we're so close to getting it set up, but of course we should keep working on the Payoneer.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's my personal opinion. But,
well, of course, I would agree. But my point is the policy. The point is that if we propose at any time, for example, World Remit or whatever, is no longer a viable option, then we don't have to wait for it, like Payza, right? If like someone wants to get paid for Payza and it's no longer a viable option, boom, announcement. You no longer can be paid on Payza. Therefore, if you want to be paid on Payza, it's no longer the responsibility for the payroll workers. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say or not?
Yeah, I understand. I mean, but I don't think we want to take away the Payoneer as an option, because we worked so hard on it and we've gotten so close. I think we should follow through on that. I mean, for now and for future, when other people want Payoneer, I think, like you said, we should have done it 9 months ago. I don't think we should take it off the table now. I mean,
of course, but it's still a viable proposal.
That would be throwing at the baby with the bathwater.
Sure, but you could easily amend this to say, like, temporarily until it is viable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, so it's basically saying, like, we're no longer doing Payoneer. Payoneer is not an option. You are not going to get paid, period, until the next pay cycle unless you give us a different payroll option. Right?
But I think we are working on it, and we need to wait
I think that, okay, here's my suggestion for the moment, if I may. I don't want to interrupt anybody, if I may. I think to get paid some money, you make a quick proposal right now, saying proposal to pay Lucy X amount of dollars, against the policy.
Oh, I got some.
Let me finish. Okay, to let the people, whoever the person is, get X amount of dollars outside of the, outside of the payroll process, outside of our policies, due to the long time between payrolls. Period. Make the proposal. We can vote on it, and that's it. It's not a big deal. It's a sentence. Just there's everybody who needs money. Everybody who hasn't got paid who needs money, make a quick proposal. I mean, that'll solve the problem. It's option 2. Make a proposal. We'll vote on it, and we'll take it from there. I don't know. It makes sense to me. I don't know if anybody wants to say anything after that. I mean, I think we're just beating around the bush here. It's simple enough.
Yeah, so that's what I would be more comfortable with. So anyways, let's go ahead and vote on these proposals. So option number 1 would be like, okay, let's just like get everybody paid and just ignore the policy, and that's just that, right? Option number 2 would let's stick with the policy. Under the policy, each individual needs to say how much they want. And it's reasonable to be like, maybe a payroll worker shouldn't get their bonus or their fees because it's still not, the payroll's still not done. Or with the full moon, it's like we could, if they need 2 payrolls, we pay them their first payroll and not their second one, So I think that's perfectly reasonable. That would be option 2. Option 3 would be like, we're actually changing our availability, and everybody in Pioneer can no longer get paid through Pioneer until it's actually set up. And then they have to give us other options.
They don't want Zoom, and we're having problems with Zoom. So.
Well, we might be able to get Zoom set up. But again, if we don't try to get Zoom set up, it's not going to happen. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like trying Zoom once is not acceptable. Does that make sense?
No, we have to try it again. We have to try it again.
Exactly.
All right, so let's vote.
So let's go ahead and vote. So if we do option 2, if we do this, then we would also approve each person.
Questions, comments, anything, anybody? Nobody has any comments, so how do you want to do this, Jay?
Oh, we'll just go through it. So option number 1, I'm not really into it. I'll give it like a 3.5. Option number 2 is what I'm definitely more into. I would give that a 7.5. Option number 3, not really into this either. Maybe a 3.5. So everyone can vote. So Steve.
Come on, guys. Put in your numbers and vote.
Steve, are you voting?
I already voted.
Okay. Miguel, do you want to vote?
I'm voting.
Albina.
Mahedi, Lucy.
So, I mean, the reason why I always do this is because, I mean, technically, you're supposed to vote verbally as well as, writing it down. So.
Okay, I vote 4 on proposal number 1. I vote 8 on proposal number 2, and I vote 0 on proposal number 3.
Okay, does anyone else want to vote, or are we?
Guys, if you want to get paid, how about voting? Lucy, Albina?
I did.
You did?
Yeah. Okay. Did.
Don't give your name. You're not Albins. You're Albina. Okay, well, I'll say right off the top that option 3 is definitely voted down. Definitely voted down.
Is Lucy voting? It looks like Lucy's the only one who didn't vote.
She's voting now. She's voting now. Lucy, can you vote for proposal number 1, please?
I abstain.
All right, so
You abstain.
you abstain or you don't vote? Is it 0 or 5?
5.
All right, so I don't think that number 1 passes.
She's on there twice, but it still doesn't pass.
And this is, passes by consensus. So this is actually consensus approval here. The reason why it's consensus is everybody's above 7. So everyone's a yes vote. So that's consensus. So that's very strong. It's not easy to get consensus. So, so now we have a sub vote. Basically, we have 100% owed payment. Then we have without bonuses or fees, and then we have the full moon payroll first. And then the only other thing would be like, have each individual propose or pay everyone without individual requests.
I mean, if people are willing to, I'm going to say this for everyone here. We don't, we're still waiting for gold to come. We don't have a ton of money to pay people with. So I know people need to get paid, but maybe if you don't need the entire thing, you can make a proposal for a little less than your full. And then after we get some more money in the bank, we can, pay you the rest.
I'm not super worried about getting people paid. I mean, I don't think that whether or not we're able to pay people should be the determining factor of whether or not they are able to ask for their money. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I mean, we do have the money. For example, Steve K, yours is in the Bitcoin and Ether, so it shouldn't be a problem. There is a couple hiccups with the actual US dollars, but it's still pretty minor, and the gold's on the way. It should be fine.
Yep.
Yeah. And either way, I mean, overall, we're spending money that we don't have, which is one of the reasons why the payroll is also a difficulty. So that's just the way it is already. So we can't ignore that. But I think overall we should be fine. What do these link to? I'm kind of curious. Nothing. Not working. Okay, so anyways, I'll go first. So percentage owned payment, for me, I am, oh no, did I mess it all up? Oh, it's her work report. Okay, so let's just link to the work reports. So percentage owned payment, the reason I don't like this is because it's just like, a lot of people want bonuses for doing payroll, and to not get the payroll completed and done and want bonuses for it makes me a little bit like, I feel kind of, like it's just abusing
it should go on the final output bonus sheet. It shouldn't be paid out bonuses.
I know.
For payroll.
But I'm
Payroll's
just saying
not
that
completed.
it's there.
Yes, we said no more bonuses, but this is money that you've earned prior to that vote, saying that there'll be no more bonuses.
No,
So
that's not what I said. I didn't say anything about bonuses. I said that people are requesting output bonuses for payroll in these payrolls. It's
right,
not till the next.
And what I'm saying is it doesn't belong being paid now.
I know.
It belongs on the
I understand, but that doesn't decredit my statement, which is that currently in the bonuses there is payroll bonuses. Period. Right. So it doesn't discredit. I understand what you're saying is that they shouldn't be there, but that doesn't discredit my statement, which is that they're there.
No, it doesn't at all.
So that's why I vote no on that one. And then with bonuses, you know, I mean, if people want to do this, it's perfectly fine. I'm not against it. You know, I'll give it a 6.7. Full moon, obviously, I think that makes a lot of sense. 8. And then each individual, I would be much more interested in each individual actually proposing themselves. So I'd be higher on that. And everyone just paying everybody, you know, I'm not against that. I'll just abstain, or even a little more than abstain. Cool.
Well,
So
one question, regardless of that last proposal, or pay everyone without individual request, is pay in full when the money comes in, not because he's a payroll worker, he will not get paid right now. He's a person who has Western Union, so we can pay him, and that's it, correct?
You mean pay everyone without individual requests?
Yes.
So we can do either 100% own payment without bonuses, or just a full moon payment for everybody who's on this list. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, right? As opposed to each individual that proposes would be, you know, what is Albina's proposal? What is Miguel's proposal? What is Steve K's proposal? Abdul, we don't have Abdul's proposal, right? He hasn't proposed anything. He hasn't requested payment. Joyce also has not made a proposal and has not requested payment, right? Lucy.
Okay,
yeah.
What I'm asking is, we are payroll workers and we want the work being done. That's important for me, and I think I'm speaking in behalf of Lucia and Albina also.
And hopefully we can all agree that the work has not gotten done, because that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to be treated like anyone else, you know? If we can run the payroll by, okay, this is PayPal, so PayPal is Steve, so we pay Steve in that cycle, in that moment. Then it's Western Union, so the Western Union is Albina and it's I, so we pay both, and then we move forward. It's not, I don't want to be, of course I am in stress because I need the money, but I want to get the job done, but not doing it, but not pushing if the policies cannot apply because of the pioneer issue, the payroll worker should be paid. Easy as that. It's not. I don't think it's not needed to be so complicated in here, because we want everyone to get paid. That's our job, and we love to do so.
But explain that in terms of the pioneer again, because you're saying that we want everyone to get paid, but if they can't get paid, then we're just not going to pay them and ignore it and then pay ourselves. I'm confused.
No, because the pioneer stuff, we must to be done, and that's something that we spend time today making an email and send it into the forms. We are working on it.
Yeah,
so we are not leaving that behind. We are working on that step.
But one of the reasons we're working on it is because everybody has to do it to get paid. That's one of the reasons we're working on it and doing so much work on it. In my perception.
Can I say something? And maybe it's out of context, but the people who are working now on things like payroll and HR, like the people on this list, I think are going to be there to work on it, even after they get paid, because the people that are working now are committed to getting the job done. At least the people that are on this list are committed to getting the job done. I don't think paying them would stop them from working on the pioneer or anything else. And I personally, my opinion is saying that. I remember when the proposal was done, and I did it with you. I made the policy with you, Jay. The people that were, we made the so I just think the people that are working now would work with we pay them first or not. Just an opinion, and it's out of place maybe. But the people that are here now are very committed.
Okay, but the proposal that I just heard from you, Steve, is very simple. It's like, let's just do away with the policy entirely. Or am I missing something? If you want to propose doing away with the policy entirely, then we just propose it and then we vote on it, and then it either passes or doesn't pass. But you know, right now what we're voting on is, you know, we have consensus. We have consensus on keeping the policy, and then just going through each individual and paying them, so that we can do groups of everybody, just everybody owed payments, everyone without bonuses and fees, or the full moon payroll first, and then we'll go on to the next payroll, right? And then the other options is, do we go through and just do it all, you know, individual and go through each individual, or do we do everyone? Like, so let's just switch these around in the correct order. So this would be, if we just stick with these first three proposals, it would just be everybody. And everybody means these 5 people, 6 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. You either pay everybody their 100% owed payment. We do everybody without bonuses or fees. And then this one would be full moon payroll first, and then go on to the next one, right? And so that would be this. The second one is, okay, let's just go through each individual, do their proposal first, and then move it on to the next one. And every person can be addressed individually, and we just address it. You know, in fact, if we had done that to begin with, which is the original policy, we probably would be done by now, because we just would have gone through each individual, figured out what they needed, and then boom, we'd be ready to pay them. Do you understand what I'm saying? If we just stuck to the policy, we'd literally already be done by now.
Agreed.
So let's go through these votes. So Lucy, did you want to vote on the 100% owed payment? That would be paying everybody the 100%. It would be nice to get the total on these things. Did anyone total this stuff up? I'll do it. If no one did it. 6, 8, 5. Lucy, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Are you gonna vote? Are you abstaining or what? So it comes out to 2,852 according to my very brief calculations. All right, so looks like we have that one. Lucy, did you want to vote on the without bonuses or fees?
No, I don't want to vote on that.
So 0. Albina, did you want to vote on that one?
Which one?
The without bonuses or fees?
No, that one, no, with 2.
You voted 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that. 6.5. And this, I mean, obviously doesn't pass. And this one, Steve, did you want to vote on this one? I mean, I'm assuming this one won't pass either, right?
On which one? I missed one.
You didn't vote on the full moon payroll first, like to do the full moon payroll.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. That's actually what I'm asking for. So yeah, that's fine.
Oh, you do want that one. Okay. I still don't think it's gonna pass.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're pretty clear here. Let's do the last 2. Oh, yeah. So Steve, do you think we should just pay everybody in just one big block, or should we go through everybody individually? You do do you think everyone individually? Albina, Lucy, Mahibi, do you guys want to do everyone individually, or just go through everybody as one block? And obviously the answer here is the 100% owed payment. So this is a 6.5, so it barely passes, right? And then what we end up with here is, you vote for everyone individually, then we would still go through each individual. If we vote for everybody, oh no, what happened? I'll pay everyone collectively. Everyone collectively as stated above in the 100% payment. Payment. Okay. And this would be go through each individual, you know, see what they need. And this right here was the original policy. add a little 7.5 there. Lucy, so you have a 6.5 to do everybody collectively for the full. This is 2,853. So this is for the full 2,853. And this would be like depending on money, depending on Wahidi. So we have this one. So I'm going to add up this one. Let's see what we got here. 5.5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 6.5 plus 6 plus 5 is 37 divided by 6. 6.16 average. 6.16 average. So here we go.
Lucy Mahedi, can you vote on the last one, please?
Plus 5. So Lucy, how would you vote for the each individual and going through each person individually?
Lucy,
Yes.
how do you feel about the last one? Have each individual propose, see what they need, which is the original policy, depending on needs. Do they have
I
anybody?
think we vote a lot and we have a more voting. We pass another one, we come up with the analysis. It's very much confusing for me.
Okay, but the proposals should be very clear and simple. Your options are two options. Number one, we just pay everybody in full. It's the full 2,853, and it's the 7 people. Okay, you voted 6.5. Option number two, and these are only two options. Option number two is that we go through each person. So, for example, Steve, instead of giving Steve $685, we would only give Steve $290 because that's all he needs. Steve is asking for proposing that he wants $290 right away. Option number one is paying Steve $685. Option number two is paying Steve $290. Does that make sense, Lucy?
Yes.
Well, your numbers are
Yes,
wrong, but
I
it makes
understand.
sense.
I'm voting now. 7.5 full amount.
You're proposing, I propose for full amount, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So everyone voted? All right, so let's see what we have here. So
That's the highest.
7.5 plus 8 plus 5 plus 8 plus 7.5 plus 8 divided by 6? No, that can't be right. 7.5 plus 8 plus 5 plus 8 plus 7.5 plus 8 is divided by 6. 7.33. That's the highest voting. So what I want to note here is that the thing that got the most positive votes of everything we just voted on was literally the current policy.
It's to stay in policy.
Yeah. So there's a reason why we have the current policy that we currently have, because it makes sense. And everybody agreed upon it because we've done all of this all over before. Right? So if we just had stuck to the current policy and we just went through each person and focused on individuals and their needs, instead of focusing on like, oh, I hate everything because everyone should get paid and we just need a we actually would have already gone through all of this probably 10 minutes ago, and we already would be on to the budget. So now what we can do is we can begin the process of the original policy and just go through each individual person. What this also means, if we approve this, is that we would exclude Abdul and Joyce because they're not here and they haven't proposed anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start with Steve. So now we're just going to take this and we're going to go down here and we're just going to do what we originally would have done if there wasn't all the complaints about the policy itself. And so I don't need any additional money, so NA. So then we do Steve. So here's Steve. Steve, proposal is, so the max would be 290. And obviously you could do like 250, 200. 150.
Or 650.
Exactly, 0. Okay, so basically, bottom line here, does anyone object to giving Steve the 290? All right, so there you go. Everyone votes for Steve 290, and this is consensus. All right, are we good? Done.
Yes.
Steve,
Yep.
done. Miguel.
Yes.
So Miguel is asking for what? And just to note here,
Yeah, I will make the note there.
note
I
Steve
made
is
a new-
still owed about $600. Okay.
Yeah, I make a note on there. Yes, I originally proposed for 400, but I see my bills and I need full amount.
Okay, so Miguel needs full amount for bills. Okay, so we have 457, 40, 400, 300, 200, blah, blah, blah. I think that's fine. I don't think any of us are going to be doing less than that. So I personally would be more comfortable with 400, but other people can just vote for the 457. If anyone else wants to vote less than 457, you can. I'm fine with 350, but I wouldn't go much lower than that. And wait, there is one other number that I did like, which was this number without the bonuses, which is 368.
It'll be 357, 40, whatever.
I'm just gonna put it 368. In this one, I would be a 6.5, and here I am 8. Cool. So, Mahidi, do you want to vote, or are you abstaining? You can abstain. It's perfectly fine. And Albina is voted. Lucy is voted. I think that's it. It's just Mahidi. Are you gonna? Okay. Cool. All right. So obviously we know that everybody's, the most votes are for 457. So then me and Steve can just go ahead and vote here as well, since it would be silly not to. But I would give it a, I'm not like anti. I'm just gonna abstain. So abstain. And we add it up, see if it passes, and we're done. So Miguel is a 9 plus an 8 plus a 7 plus an 8 plus 2 5s. Is that divided by 6 is a pass. A good clean 7. Average 7. All right, so that passes, and we're done with Miguel. Note,
thank you very much.
Will owe Miguel $0, except for the next full moon payroll. Right? Full moon payroll is the next one. All right, so that's done. Albina's asking for $288.34. So Albina, $288.34, and she is owed the full amount. So this is the full amount. Cool. And let's just throw 50 up there, 200. I mean, I don't know. It's not a lot of money, and it's fine with either one. J is 7, J is 8, 7.5. Cool. So we have Steve, yes. Miguel, Albina, yes. All right. Mahidi, do you want to vote? Lucy, do you want to vote?
Yes.
So
Lucy, yes.
you're a yes for full amount. So Lucy is yes, full amount.
For full amount, 7.5.
Oh, you're going to vote a 7.5. Okay, cool. All right. So did we miss anyone? Mahidi, you going to vote? All right. So again, I mean, this process, it takes a little time to go through each person, but it actually goes really fast once you start doing it, because it's already contained within the process and the policy. So this is And typically we would do this one person at a time, you know, because someone would be like, I need to get paid. And we just, boom, take it would take like 2 minutes. All right, so this is, it just is like, it passes, approved, consensus. So, $0 owed to Albina except for full moon payroll. All right. Now we've got Lucy. So Lucy, you have two issues here. One is we don't actually know the total amount, but what are you asking for? Let's see. Lucy was asking for the full amount, so it's 617.50 something or other. So Lucy, 617.52 or whatever it is. Note, still has not gotten final verification. So we have two options here. One is to, what's going on? Oh, I need like another like half an hour, 45 minutes. Yeah. I can meet you guys somewhere if you want. 400, 350, 300 amount. I don't think we're going to go lower than 300. So so now we would go ahead and vote on this. So the other option here is you know, wait until we review final verification. So if you either can vote on one of the dollar amounts, or we could say let's do the final verification first. Let's go over it with Lucy together with all of us. Final verify exactly what she's owed, what the payments are, get it all completed, and then we'll know exactly what the amount is, and then go through and vote on exactly how much we're going to pay her. So,
I think that would be better because we have very many comments on our bonus.
Yeah.
So if we go through together, it will help us also.
Yeah.
Correct.
Exactly. So I obviously vote more for the final verification, but I'm also down to just pay her at least something, I mean, whatever's cool. So are there any objections to doing the final verification with all of us right now?
No, it's part of our job. I mean, we need to do it right.
Yeah, okay, cool. So let's go through final verification. So it looks like we're gonna do this one. No objections and has highest support. All right. And so now it's need to find the, So now it's need to find the current new moon payroll. We go to Lucy.
Pay spreadsheet.
And the question is these three. So there's three questions for you. One is output bonus. The other is co-chair bonus. And the other one is, well, we don't know what this is. So,
no, yes, we do.
Okay.
That's in there. That's the executive session bonus.
Okay.
Executive session bonus.
So bottom line,
with the hours, with the hours and the multiplication.
8250 is what? And then we have
executive session yellow.
8250 is executive sessions.
Right.
But I thought this was the executive sessions. 10.75. That's my point, is that it's not clear. This says executive sessions on it. This one says co-chair, but this is the co-chair column. It needs to be organized, right? 5375. Question mark. And then we have the 181.25, 181.25, proposal 35.
82 is the co-chair bonus.
82 is the co-chair bonus?
Yes.
Okay, so what I would do is I would make this 5375, and then I would go over here and make this the
8250
executive gelatine work, right? And then this one would be the 8250 for the co-chair bonus. I'm not sure who the other co-chair was, but oh, it was Albina. Okay, I guess. I don't know. All right, so does anyone have any objections to this here, these two?
No, we went through it earlier. It's all there. It makes sense.
Okay, but it just wasn't changed and updated so that it made sense.
Right.
It didn't make sense was the problem. So you see here we have the co-chair bonus column, so that should be the co-chair bonus, and then this is other. All right, so then the 181. So I would say we would just do the 35. That's what we had talked about because nobody else got any more than $35 in bonuses. So the question is, why is Lucy getting so much more bonus hours, and what do we want to do about this, and what should we do about it?
All right. So if you go to the payroll workspace pay spreadsheet, she does have exactly what she's asking for bonus for on there. Like I said, some of it really shouldn't be paid now. It should be in the final, output bonus spreadsheet, and some of it is bonus for now.
How much?
You want to go and look at it?
How much?
She does have it all listed.
Okay, but how much do you think it should be? And this is week 3, right? Are we doing week 3, or what are we doing? This says we are doing week 3 and 4. So we're going to week 3. So what it says, Lucy can't receive bonus or payroll, something like that. It doesn't. I don't see where it's listed. Where is it listed again? Where is it listed?
Click on the box.
It says can't receive bonus or payroll since not completed. You see, am I in the wrong? Am I in the wrong one?
I'm going to it now. Hold on. Let me get my computer
We're
to
in
the right
18
place.
degree west, right? 18 degree west. 18 degree west new moon. Yeah. So it's week 3, 18 degree west new moon.
That's not changed, but where is it?
Oh, here it is. So
There
I
it is,
have to actually
181.
copy all this. Here we go. I found it. All right. Boom. There we are. So we have payroll reconciliation for Monty, which, first of all, this never got done for the fees, which was the issue, which was the last issue. For payroll setup, still not done. 2-hour global core budget. Good. 1.5 Saturn invitation. Not output.
And we already put the midweek check. Isn't that part of the co-chair?
That's a good point. Is this already part of co-chair bonus? Updating RSVP Saturn session. I'd say this is the
Ajay, why is it this time is part of co-chair? And before, when those people are working on co-chair, they still be given the output, and yet they still be given the bonus. Why is it applied to them?
Well, I think
it wouldn't have been, if they did
maybe-
that, then they double dipped as well.
Like maybe the core
Potentially.
team, the big one is, but the one for the team itself, for the actors, that's certainly not output. But we've always paid bonus for the full team midweek check that they do at the 8th moon section. We have paid output bonus for that always, but not for the acting midweek check. That's just work.
So here, regardless, either way, midweek check-in is a problem right now because we don't have a good midweek check-in process. The process needs to be updated. We're in the actual transition of creating a new midweek check-in process. So the idea that
But that
we
was
had
from,
output
but that was from
is-
a month and a half ago. But that was from like a month and a half ago when we were still doing midweek check.
Yeah, that was.
No,
Remember.
this is the beginning of April. So this was like a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. It's
Yes,
been a
because
long
I'm
time
paying
since we
once
did.
per month, Jay.
What? Active personnel prioritization ranking. What's that? Active personnel prioritization ranking. Active personnel prioritization. I don't see a number of hours, but
But
I
that's
see
an
here.
ongoing. That's an ongoing process, isn't it?
Well, it happens monthly. Real-time payroll finances spreadsheet. Real-time payroll finances spreadsheet. Well, this is part of payroll. Midweek check, Plasma budget systems and reporting. This is huge. This is like 100%, for sure. Like that, like there's nothing more important than you did than that. I mean, that was amazing that you did that. Was it perfect? No, but the fact that you did it and you did it under your own volition is just like boom, bonus, done. Okay, so so this one's obvious. Then we have midweek check-ins that are of issue. Payroll. This is HR ranking, right? I don't even know if HR ranking is actually a bonus, but I'm not against it. Midweek check. Saturn session, budget. Sure. Budget. I don't have any problem with budget. I know you're not doing as much as Joyce, but you did help. Payroll. Okay, so this is how it should look in relationship to the spreadsheet, the bonus spreadsheet. It should be not organized by hours in person. It should be organized by the actual work that's being done, right? So the first thing I would say is payroll. Does anyone here feel that payroll is getting completed and there's output with payroll?
Not yet.
For that cycle, yes.
No, we're still working on it. We haven't paid
No,
people
no,
for
this
it
is
yet.
not this cycle. I think the other cycle. Okay. Anyway, I'm just thinking that this.
I think it goes on the final bonus output, on the final output bonus sheet. And when the payroll up until now gets done, then she can get the bonus for it. But until
Yeah,
it's
running payroll, final running payroll.
and even though we're not giving new bonuses, this is old bonus money, so it's not affected by the vote not to do bonuses, which this has been done in the past.
Exactly.
But the policy is to wait until payroll is done.
Yeah. So
I
does
haven't asked
anyone?
for any payroll bonuses yet. Because payroll's not done.
Yeah.
When it's done, I'll put it on the next week's pay. I'll ask for the bonus money.
Yeah.
For
So
doing payroll.
yeah, and it doesn't guarantee that anyone's going to get it. It just needs to be put on the bonus spreadsheet, and then it can be addressed at the time when we deal with it. But overall, it's like payroll's not getting done. I would. Does anyone object to crossing this out for at least the time being, and then it can be addressed in the future if we do get payroll finished and want to consider it?
I don't know, because maybe somebody copy and pasted into the Lucy. Maybe copy and paste.
I already copied
into
and pasted that this. I'm just looking at our notes. These are just our notes. I would just cross this out.
Okay, yeah, take it out. Take it out.
Anyone object to that? Okay, so that one's done. Let's go to Plasma. Does anyone object to definitely including Plasma?
No.
Does anyone?
Great work.
Does anyone object to definitely including the core team budget?
Great work again.
Okay. How about the ranking? Does anyone object to including the ranking?
No, she's doing it.
Okay, so I just want to note here that the overall ranking is still not done. Supposedly today was the first time it got completed, but I haven't looked at it yet. But anyways, it wasn't done. But anyways, I'll let it slide. Whatever. Maybe not 3.5 hours. Maybe like 2 hours, right? Because I mean, it should have gotten done. I didn't get done.
But the HR ranking needs to be completed, and also the spreadsheet from the calculations needs to be updated also. Sorry, Lucy, but that is not completed.
Okay, so Miguel is objecting to this one being sliding through. Does anyone else want to mention anything about it? Or I'm saying I'm okay with it as long as it's basically cut in half to 2 hours.
I'm okay with it.
So Miguel, we're saying that Lucy's worked really hard. This was achieved to a certain extent. She worked on it. If we cut it in half, it would just be 2 hours. It's not that big a deal. You okay with that, Miguel?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay,
Just saying, but I'm okay.
just-
I'm happy to people to help me to
Yeah.
to achieve stuff. And
Exactly. So
thank
Saturn
you very much,
session.
Lucy, for jumping.
Yeah. So Saturn session, it didn't happen. I like we just did it internally. We didn't actually send the invitation out. There was no output there. I would cross that out in a second. Does anyone object to that?
No, should have gotten done, and it was.
Yeah. So we were busy with other things. We didn't do it. It's not a big deal. All right. The midweek check-in. Again, I would say that this is a little bit, our midweek check-ins are not really hitting the mark, and we're still having problems, and we're readjusting the whole thing, and it's been going on for a few months. I would be, if you want to cut it in half, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Cut it in half. An hour and a half.
Well, no, it would be 3 hours because there's 6 hours of it, and you have the co-chair bonus. So maybe we could do 2 hours of it. There's the co-chair bonus with the, so that's double dipping already between co-chair bonus and the midweek check-in.
I'm good with 2 hours.
But Lucy was saying that other people were already doing that. So does anyone want to do the full 6 hours? No. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cross it out. Does anyone object to the 2 hours? Okay, so let's go ahead and see what this all adds up to. So we have 2, 4, 8, 9, 10.25. So if we go back here to Lucy and we go to 10.25 hours times 5 times 5 is equal to 10.25 times 5 is, let's say $55. That's better than the 35, or maybe just 60. I would just do a clean 60 bucks. That would be my proposal. So does anyone object? What do people feel? $60.
I think that's great.
Questions? None? Concerns? None? Objections? None of consensus. Okay, so anyways, we went through this in a little bit more detail than you actually have to go through. But it gives you a sense of how and why we review people's output, understand it. We're also currently not doing bonuses, so we don't need to do this much longer, but I'm assuming that if we had money in the future again, that people are going to want their bonuses. And I personally love bonuses, so I will continue to be pushing that we do bonuses. All right, so we're done with that. What does that give us? That gives us $496.25. So now we come back up to Lucy. So $496.25 would be the maximum. Okay, this is the full 100%. So Lucy, let's check in with you. Are you okay with this? How do you feel about it? Does this sound correct?
I'm okay with anything. I don't oppose. It's okay.
Okay, cool. So now this is the full amount, 100%. This is probably like a 4.5.
Did you take the whole of 4 weeks?
Say again.
Did you go through all the 4 weeks?
1 and 2. I think we started from week 3.
Go through all the what?
What about week 1 and 2? She's asking if we checked for the whole month, week 1 to week 4.
Yeah, so what I did is I took week 4 here. So I took this and I copied the whole thing from here. And then this one included It started with active personnel prioritization ranking and ended with plasma and budgeting. And then I went here to week 3, and it started with payroll reconciliation for Monty, and it ended with Saturn session. So I got all of it, and I copied all of it here. So this
What
is
about week 1 and 2?
What about week 1 and 2?
well, week 1 and 2 should be part of the full moon payroll. So if we go,
No, she's not paid twice. She's
I'm not paid twice.
He gets paid once a month. Okay.
Once.
yeah.
all right. Well, let's take a
He gets
look.
paid monthly.
Yeah, we need to check week 1 and 2.
Okay, so that might make more sense of why it was so high if it includes 4 weeks instead of but.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. He gets paid monthly. It's always high because of that.
Okay, cool. That's good. That's good. So we have 2 more weeks to do. So, oh yeah, so Lucy's just not even on here. Okay, cool. Who else is paid monthly? Mispa. That's the only other one. Is that it?
There is also
Julia, it doesn't matter. That's it. So it's just Lucy at this point. Okay, so let's do the other 2 weeks. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Week 1. Oh, I love this, Lucy. Like your whole list of all of your output. This is great, and it's also really good for other people to learn about output. All right. So first thing we have running payroll. I'm assuming. I mean, it's like just because you ran payroll doesn't mean that it's like output. It's like, what about the work? What about the work? And if everybody does all the running payroll, I mean, there's only so much money we have for bonuses, which is why it needs to all be collectively added up together. Anyways, I'm not super concerned about top average actual monthly pay hourly spreadsheet for 136 degree. Oh my God, I'm so confused. Value tracking and session value tracking. Midweek check-in. First moon preparation. FQN payroll verification. Organizing executive Jell-O team doc. All right, let's look at week 2 so we don't forget it.
Jay.
Yep. What? Midweek check, payroll running. All right, so anyone have anything to say about these? Well, let's go through them and practice.
Yeah,
other people practice. First of all, I want to say that Lucy's done an excellent job in documenting her output and posting it there. So she did everything perfectly. So now it's just a matter of everyone else practicing as payroll workers. What is output? What is not output? So let's go through it. Who wants to practice? Does anyone want to practice?
Is tracking an output?
Albina, which one?
Session value tracking.
I mean, it's part of our
Quarter moon.
sessions.
Quarter moon prep also.
So these would both be, so one thing could be just to organize them all, right? Organizing them into the same category. So this would be session support, right? What would you guys do if you guys were doing bonuses? You would look at the output bonus and the budget and see if session support was actually part of the output.
Correct.
Budget. Does that make sense? So that would be the first thing that you would do there. Right? So this would be ranking. You know, so I shouldn't be the one who has to do this. Somebody else should be doing this in terms of just organizing all that. So that's the first thing I would do is organize it all. So Albina, did you have another question? So basically we've got payroll, we've got ranking, session support, midweek check-in, and then Jell-O team and Saturn session. I would say that the Jello team, one, it should already be an executive team bonus. If it's not, it doesn't really matter where it is, but I would say this is be for sure included. Can somebody try it? I mean, just attempt to do it, and if you get it wrong, we're all here to help you. But it's like to not even try is just frustrating. It's like, why am I even here?
I am bringing the bonuses, the output budget from that period.
Link it to the doc.
Yes, doing so right now.
Oh, one other quick thing on the payroll stuff is I guess we're actually not done. We're still in the payroll, aren't we? But I want to add one other quick thing. We're kind of doing bonuses right now. But one other quick thing is, someone needs to send a message to Joyce and Abdul. Okay, can someone do that?
Repeat that. I couldn't hear you.
Someone needs to ask Joyce and Abdul. Ask them, how much money they want. How much money they.
Okay, I got.
So that we can approve them as well and get them paid.
I got.
Okay, let's put Steve on that.
I gotta that collaborative networks work. If they cannot speak right now, us as a team must speak for them. And I think in here, because there's.
Okay, well, let's deal with that after we deal. Let's deal with that. Shit. Okay, so Miguel, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I think it's perfectly fine for us to address that with Abdul and with Joyce, but let's finish with Lucy first, okay?
Okay, correct.
So can someone please, I'm just begging you, just talk, do that. This is just bonus calculations. It's just verifying bonuses. This is not rocket science. Like, we've done training on this over and over again. You know how to do it. Just, we have payroll, rankings, session support, midweek check, updating Saturn session. Come on.
I got already the link. So the output bonuses for that period of time are for what are we looking for? Please tell me.
The payroll, ranking.
I also sent it on the personal because I think this needs to get to them. So I put it on their personal Skypes for them also. Okay.
That's finances, correct? We got a bonus in that period of time of 350 to be split between the workers.
I'm going to put down, please make it a proposal.
Yeah, I already did it. So
Okay.
Miguel, what did you just say?
Thank you.
In finances, there is not a specific for payroll.
I know, we need to add that in there, and payroll was never supposed to be part of output, but people are doing payroll and they are producing output, so, and it is technically under finances.
Yeah, correct. So for finances and taxes, we have a monthly bonus pool of 350, and it's also an output.
Yeah. So, but the problem with payroll isn't necessarily whether or not it's in the budget. The question is whether or not it's completed and getting done.
Oh no! If the payroll is not completed, it cannot be generated as bonuses until it's finished. And
that's why we have the final bonus.
The next
that's
cycle,
why we have the
payroll cycle.
That's why we have the final bonus output doc, so people can put down bonuses for like things like payroll. So we know the following, payroll period that once we finish the current one, they can get paid for bonus work they did in this one. That's why we made that sheet originally.
Yeah. So also I want to mention in terms of when I look at this, I'm like, okay, let's say you do 2 hours of payroll. That would imply you probably worked on payroll at least 4 or more hours, and so, because it shouldn't, all your payroll work can't all be output, especially when we're redoing verification over and over and over again, It's like, what did someone do if someone else just had to redo verification all over again, And that's how payroll has been over the last couple months. So for me, I would, I don't know. Does anyone want to propose this that we do 2 hours of payroll? Come on, let's do this, guys. It's excruciating. Someone just needs to make a proposal and finalize it. Are you proposing we add it or we don't add it, Miguel?
I'm just following the policies, correct?
Well, but the policy involves you stating what's happening. Like, we didn't understand it. You said what might happen, but you need to be like, this is what it is. We want to hear it. Is it or is it not included in Lucy's output for this payroll? Yes or no?
No, it cannot be included in the cycle because the payroll is not finished.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. So the proposal from Miguel is that we do not include it. Does anyone object to that? All right, so we cross it out. Done. Next. Who wants to do the next one? Ranking. Come on, guys. And if, Miguel, you want to do all of them? I'm perfectly happy with that. But I did the second 2 weeks, so it's like, let's do some practice. Someone else can do this. I shouldn't have to do any of this. It should already have actually been done already. But
come on, guys. Top average actual monthly total pay in hours tracking spreadsheet. 2.5 hours.
It's okay. For me, it's okay.
2.5 hours for the 130 to 60.
Okay, so Miguel proposes yes to add it. Does anyone object to adding this?
No, I don't.
Okay, so let's go ahead and add that. Session support.
I have a problem with the quarter moon prep.
The quarter moon prep. But what about the value tracking?
Session value tracking.
I mean, for me, if we did session value tracking, like, everybody should have output bonus because this is the end of every single session. Like, how is it not different from any other session for value
I think
tracking?
that's just work.
Yeah, I would agree. And then you have an issue with the quarter moon preparation as well. So Steve proposes, do you want to just say it directly, Steve, or do I have to do it for you?
Sure. I propose that the session support work isn't actual output and should not be included in the bonuses.
Perfect. So are there any objections to Steve? Okay, so we cut it.
That's the same thing I commented on the comment store, so it's
perfect.
No.
Perfect. Okay, midweek check. Who wants to do this one?
I'll take that one too. I have no problem with the 1 hour for the global core team, but the Octin midweek check is not output bonus. The Octin midweek check is just work.
But this doesn't actually say whether it's Octin or not, and this is for 2 weeks, so it's potentially just the global.
Then I have no problem with it because you've always paid for that.
Okay, does anyone object to midweek check?
No objection from me.
Okay, but just so you guys know, for me, moving forward, until we get our midweek check process set up, it's not done, right? The output literally is the process, and getting it completed and functional. All right,
so
organizing.
We're just not doing it anymore. Okay, here we go.
Well, no, we're still doing midweek check. We're just changing.
I mean doing bonuses for it.
Oh, we're not doing bonuses anyway, either way. Yeah, until we change that policy. Okay. So organizing executive Jello team doc. My understanding is this would be under executive team bonuses. And what I'm hearing from Lucy is that she didn't include this particular hour in that, which is why it's an output. Is that correct, Lucy?
Yes.
So I would just include that and not worry about it. It should be in executive team bonuses. If we did it all perfectly, we would delete it from here and add it to there, but let's just move on because it's the same amount of money. Last but not least, Saturn. This is an interesting one. Does anyone want to give it a try, or do you guys want me to do it?
You do that one.
Okay, so this one's a really interesting one, and the reason why it's different than the previous one. Let's review the previous one.
Just stop sharing screen, Jay.
Oh, okay. I can share screen again. So this Saturn one is a little different than the first one, right? Because it is, the first one was the Saturn invitation and the RSVP, and we didn't do it, right? We didn't do the RSVP. We didn't do any of that, right? But this one is a little bit different. What I remember this from is that specifically Lucy took it upon herself, I think possibly some with Albina, to move the Saturn session forward when nobody else was doing it. And she sat there for hour after hour and created, a dozen documents, used the actual, what do you call it? She used the templates of all the documents and all the structure of all the documents from the Jupiter session and copied and duplicated everything for the Saturn session. And it was a huge amount of work, and it actually is not even output. It was actually a deliverable. So I would actually call this a deliverable.
Yeah.
Not
I would
actually,
agree 100% with it.
it's actually not output. It's more important than output because it was a whole set of documents and everything that will last, forever. The only other question I would say is 8 hours of deliverables and 8 hours of output. I don't know. Maybe it would just be like, 4 or 5 hours. That's a lot of hours. It was the first time she'd ever done it, and she probably had to take a lot of that time learning and figuring it out. So that's my thing. How does anyone else feel about it?
I'm great with it. I think she did a fantastic job. You should be very proud of yourself, Lucy. You did great on that.
Okay.
And Albina did great on the series also.
Yes. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? 5 hours? If we did 5 hours times $5 would be $25. Let's say $30. This could be a $30 deliverable bonus.
Deliverable. Yeah, that works.
That's what I would put. Does anyone object to the $30 deliverable bonus?
No objection.
Okay, cool. Awesome. This is a really, really good learning experience. We're all learning about bonuses and deliverables and the difference between what normal work is and assigned work, what real output is, and what deliverables are. It's really cool. So Lucy, we're gonna update this to be $30 for deliverable. Let's put a note here so that it's tracked forever, which is that this is for the Saturn session documentations. Oh no, what I do? How do I do this comment? Oh yeah, Saturn session documentations. All right. And then the rest of it, we just have to add up. So we have 2.5 hours here, 2.5 hours there. That's 3 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours. So that takes our $60, where we did 10.25 hours. It basically takes it up to 15 hours. 15 times 5 gives us $75. So that would be 75 plus 30. So it's really over $100. If
105. 105.
Yeah. Okay. So any other questions on Lucy's bonuses and deliverables and output, all that? Anyone have questions? Because this is really good. I would actually put this under a subheading of output and bonus training, right? So if anyone can figure out when we started this and the timing, this would be a great place to put in a to do training, right? Because that was great training on output and deliverable bonuses. All right, so what is next? So now we just need to get the total. The total comes out to 541.25. So this would be 541.25, and then we got to add in the 500. All right. So, is everyone ready to vote?
Here is 5.75 hours, not 4 hours.
What? What did I miss?
The hours instead of 4 is 5.75.
Where? What is 5.75? What did I miss?
2.5 plus 1 hour plus 2.25 plus 1 hour.
Is 6 hours. So it's 6 hours. So if we do 6 plus 10 is 16 hours. So I think it's going to be 80. So 16 times 5 is 80. So we're going to round this up to 80. Cool. Nice catch. All right. So before it was 181. Now it's 110 total. All right.
And the other money is still there. A lot of the other money is still there, but it's payroll with stuff that I get paid for later on. You know, or the payroll bonus stuff.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee that she's gonna get that.
Right. Right.
Cool. So I'm ready to vote here. You guys gonna vote? So we're voting on Lucy's actual pay, what we're gonna pay her outside of the policy as a payroll worker. So we have $546.25 being the maximum according to our calculations, and now we have final verification. Boom. And everyone just needs to do a quick vote. Let's see what we got here.
15, 22, 50, 32, 26.
Okay, so this average is 6.91. So it passes. And we're good to go. So anyways, that one took a lot longer because we didn't do the policy. We were doing all the output and deliverable bonus training, which was much more complicated. Awesome. So any other questions? And this ended up being 110 was the final number. And I don't think we have any objections there, so that looks good. I think we're done. I think we're good. So any other questions on anything related to the payroll? So I need to go do dinner, but then as soon as I finish dinner, let's just run all the rest of the payroll and just get everyone paid. So as many people as possible, right? I mean, there's going to be a couple snags here and there, but overall, we should be able to get everybody paid in the next couple days. You know, if you take 5,
If you
take World Remit,
stack me when you're done with dinner, I'll be here.
Cool. Yeah. So if you take World Remit, you can see here with World Remit, we have $1,000. We have over $1,000 just with World Remit. So this is going to, you know, it's going to max out what we can do for today. But either way, we'll be able to do a lot. And between today and tomorrow, we'll get it all. We'll get a lot done and through. Okay. But there's obviously going to be some things that we're going to max out on, and some things that are going to be difficult with the money transfers. But overall, we have a plan. You know, I would say the only other thing we might want to propose is to send everybody, to make sure everyone gets something, to send half of everything, especially for the bigger amounts, so that everyone at least gets something, and then we go from there. But either way, I think we'll be fine. Okay? Yeah.
If you Skype me when you're done with dinner, I'll pop on. Okay?
Yeah, and the main reason I think we're going to be fine overall is because we overnighted the gold today, so it should be here tomorrow, latest the next day. So the latest that everyone could probably get paid 100% would be Friday, which is like 2 days. So we should be able to complete all the payroll by Friday, except for Payoneer. So the Payoneer is the only.
Are we gonna try to set up Zoom again?
Yeah, we might as well. We might as well try.
Yeah, we need to try that for a
Tonight.
I mean, the thing is that there should be no reason we can't do Zoom. So therefore, we just keep doing it until we figure it out. I mean, why shouldn't we be able to use Zoom? You know what I mean? It should work.
Yeah.
It's from PayPal. It doesn't make any sense that it wouldn't work. Okay, so I think we're ready to move on. Let's go on to the budget.
Quick. Okay.
And then we got to check out because I got to go. So what's the issue on the budget? It's just the results, right? So it's the results
we need to check the
from
results.
the HR board. Did anyone do it already, or we have to literally do it right now? Because if we have to do it,
I think we did.
Anyone did it.
if someone did it, I'm down to look at it. Otherwise, I just feel like we're not prepared and we should just skip it and move on.
Do it tomorrow.
Yeah. So does someone want to link it?
The message.
Because we did with Lucy during Cobalt yesterday.
You did it during Cobalt yesterday? Well, do you want to link it?
Yeah, voting results.
Yeah, we tallied the results.
Okay, do you want to link it? And we can go through it real quick? And then we're going to check out.
Yeah.
You asked me a question.
Oh, by the way, I just want to say while we're waiting that we did really good. Like, you know, I hope you guys understand. I mean, this is a process that we go through. And let's go through, actually, while we're waiting, can I go through a method real quick? Can I just quickly go through a method? Okay, so while we're waiting, let me just check in on a method. Method, all right? So the method is very, very simple. The method is, you know, you review the issue and problem, you lay out, and this also includes the policies, like review the policies, existing policies, lay out options for solutions and moving forward, and then prioritize and vote and select and, you know, get consensus, right? I mean, that's the method right there, right? So there was an issue on the policy. We basically were in conflict. We were all upset and worried about getting paid, and it's been months since people got paid and people were pissed and blah, 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 blah. We reviewed the issue. We addressed the options for moving forward, right? And this begun with new policies. And then it was like we decided to keep our policy, and then we went through the existing policy with individuals, right? And then we prioritized and selected the votes and went through everything, and we got consensus, and now everything's great. You know, so the method itself is just diligently reviewing the problem, laying out the options, prioritizing, voting, and selecting. If you just do that over and over and over and over again, we can get through anything. It just takes time to do it, but you collectively, as a group and as a team, address everybody's problems, everybody's issues, get to agreement on it, and you move on. Right? So if you follow the policy, if you follow the method, it doesn't matter what policy it is, it doesn't matter what the issue is, it doesn't matter what the problems are, we can solve them and get consensus. Okay? Any question on the methods that we were just using?
No.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Let's check out our tally vote here. Okay. Results verification. Do we have the data though? Where's the data? Do we have any data? Okay, so the first thing at the very top of this doc should be the data. So we're just missing the link to the data. So we need the link to the results, right? Link to results. So the first.
I put the link there. The link.
Where?
All the links are there.
Where? Where are they?
On the doc.
Check. We have up the exams. We have a documented one, verified one there. When you go to the spreadsheet.
Oh, okay, you put it here. All right. So I just didn't see
Yeah.
this. So let's just copy and paste it over here as well. Boom. All right. So results. You click on here. Perfect. So this is great. So when you can see here, you can see that, you know, generally maybe this one has a little bit more support, but you can't totally tell exactly what's going on. You know, so we need to get more detail. All right. But that's good on the results. So then the next would be the actual spreadsheets. And the spreadsheet actually has all the results for each person, how they voted. You can see some people may have voted more than once, et cetera, et cetera. So then you have your verified results. So your verified results actually make sure that each individual voted only once and understanding exactly what their vote was of option 1, 2, 3. Very clean, very clear. So what you get here is you have a much clearer understanding. You know, option 1 getting 7, option 2 getting 6, option 3 getting 5. So this is very, very clear voting. And additionally to the being very clear voting, we actually have one option that has a yes vote, right? Both option 2 and option 3 did not pass. Neither of these have enough votes to pass. Only option 1 passed. Weighted voting. If you look at weighted voting, we have 44 to 42 to 32. So with the weighted voting, it's pretty close between option number 1 and option number 2. But again, the weighted voting is really just to confirm the results. If it doesn't get approval, that's the biggest problem. You have to have over a 6.5 to get approval. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so let's note some of this on our notes here. So option 1, option 2, option 3, and let's give them a little bit of name. So this is only 3 buddy teams, basically, you know, $1,500 per month. Option number 2 is, you know, global old world, and this is $2,600 a month. Option number 3 is Andromeda with 3 buddy. This option 1 buddy. Okay. So what you have here is, so this passes with support from weighted HR board votes. All right, so let's just go ahead and bold that. Is there any questions about the actual results? And then we're going to go over what does it mean.
So that option 3 should be Andromeda with 3 buddy teams, not 1 buddy team.
Yeah, 3 buddy teams. Well, no, I said it's actually option 1 buddy teams.
Okay.
Yeah, the same 3 buddy teams from option 1. With 3 buddy teams, you know, same from option 1. That's confusing. All right, so this got a 5 and does not pass. Okay. So a couple things here. Number 1. Oh, are there any questions about the results?
Yes, what it means for the people in Andromeda.
Then we're going to cover that next. So what does it mean is a separate thing. But let's just say, are there any questions about the actual results of the vote itself? Of like why number 1 passes versus number 2 not passing or number 3 passing, et cetera, et cetera. Are there any questions about the actual results? Okay, so are there any concerns about the results in relationship to verification? So this would basically be like, you know, the voting was done incorrectly. The verification may have not held integrity. You know, just reasons like basically this isn't the correct vote. Another possibility was, you know, we did not have enough people voting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
my question is, were the people with no names, was that removed from the totals?
Yeah, let's review it.
Yeah,
Great question.
it was removed.
So this is really important. We have, so the form number 1 is all of the votes. So this includes everyone who voted, including blank names and random names that don't make any sense, right? So this is everything. You can see here you have a 6.7, 5.56, okay? When you look at the verified results, every single person's been verified to be an individual who has who voted correctly. And then these are the verified results, 7.3, 6.0, and 5.6. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then you have the weighted HR results, which are that some people get additional weighted votes. Although this is obviously incorrect, but you know it's not included anyways. Not sure what happened there. Anyways, so I see you have it averaged. Yeah, this is a mistake. Okay, so this is actually supposed to be a sum. I'm not sure why Jessica is so low. Is there any understanding of why Jessica would be so low? All right. So anyway, this is supposed to be a sum. The sum should make it a lot clearer. So you have 451, 588, and 619. Okay, that makes sense. And so these are just weighted. These are weighted votes. The weighted votes are specifically based on the HR ranking. The higher you're ranked, the more power you have in the vote. But either way, what's important to note is you have exactly the same outcome, regardless of whether it's weighted or just normal, everyone equal. Right? That's the most important thing to note here is that it's the same outcome. So that you don't actually need the weighted votes. So does that answer your question about the verification of the people? So that was, yeah, so verification done correctly.
But in the verified results, I am not there.
Well, that might be a big problem. So let's double check.
He's not, and I know we voted.
All right, so we come in here. We see Jorge, Miguel, and myself voted towards the end, right?
Oh, I know.
Verified results. We have Steve. Okay, so we don't have actually me, Jorge, or Miguel. So we have to add all of us in here. So we want 1, 2, 3. So Jay, Jorge. Actually, we should be able to just copy and paste it. So we should be able to just go boom, 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 copy, and boom, 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 paste.
Yeah, I just copy here.
And then we insert a row above, and then we average, so C2 to C18.
18.
Change that a little bit. C18 and C18. All right, cool. So that gives us better overall vote. Okay, so is anyone else missing? So Abdul, let's make sure Abdul is in there. Bina. Yeah, so I mean the verification just didn't even happen. So this was supposed to happen. Remember a couple hours ago? We were like,
I don't see Abdul.
Yeah, Abdul's not in there either.
Abdul did not vote.
He did vote. He did vote.
He did.
Yeah, you guys just didn't.
But maybe without your name.
Guys, you're supposed to update this before the meeting, not 2 days before the meeting. You guys understand?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So Abdul needs to be added, so that should be pretty easy. We just add Abdul, copy, and insert Abdul. Paste. Okay. Then we come in here, Shigemi.
Shigemi, yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, part of me just feels like it's just not done yet. We didn't do it. We didn't do the work that needed to get done. Maybe I need to go. Are you guys ready? All right. I think we should just not do it and move on. I mean, because I got to go.
Okay. We just do it, Lucy.
Because I specifically requested and asked people to get this done before the meeting. It didn't happen. Like, why didn't it happen?
It happened. Then this, you guys voted.
People are still voting. We didn't know.
Well, of course people are still voting. We've been outreaching and telling people to vote every day for day after day after day. Like that, to the whole idea of the concept of having basically saying that like your expectation is that no one voted over the last 24 hours is a big mistake. Never ever think that. Okay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. There's no common sense to think, oh yeah, we're just going to ignore the last people who voted over the 24 hours. And then to present the results as if they were completed when they weren't, it just is kind of upsetting. I mean, basically, we just wasted our time. So none of this is applicable. They're not completed. Does anyone object to the proposal that that basically the results are not verified?
I agree with that.
So proposal, results not verified. Do one last round of outreach. Like, so I want, so basically
Take the line out of it,
post.
Jay. You have it crossed out.
Oh yeah. So what we want to do is we want to post on every Skype channel and request everyone one last chance to vote. Okay.
Can somebody who has access to all the different Skype channels actually do that? Because not everyone is on the New World Waiting, and that's the only channel I can post on. So can either Lucy or Alvina post on all the different Skype channels? Because I don't have access to them right now.
Great.
Me neither.
Okay, does anyone object to this? Questions, concerns, objections? All right, so we have consensus on that. That's fine.
And when you
So,
post it, please put a link to the vote. When you post it, please put a link to the voting form.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go quickly through what these mean, okay? And then I have to go. I'm gonna check out, and you guys can check out for me because people are waiting for me. So really quickly, option number one. If option number one wins, which currently has the most support, we can see here that option number one overall is winning. But we can see with the new votes, it actually comes under the actual needed votes to be passed, right? So there might be a problem with it actually passing. But let's say it did pass because it currently has the most number of votes. What it would mean is it would become the base budget. The base budget would be this. These people would definitely be included and not get notice and be included in the budget. But that doesn't necessarily mean we don't have additional funds to put additional people into the budget on top of that. The only other thing to note is that option one also includes the fact that next month, this would most likely be the base budget for next month as well. And then we would have to consider all recruitment, all Jello team, recruitment, commission, and quantum team. Okay, so we just need to be able to add a complete budget with everybody. So working with option number one gives us a little bit more flexibility. Are there any questions about what option number one means? No. Okay, so next is the hard stop. What does it mean that we're going hard stop? So after the 8th moon, we would go on hard stop until we finish the round of voting. We were so close today, but it didn't happen. And either way, it looks like it might have not happened either way because we don't have agreement on a budget proposal. So what the hard stop would mean is that we would need agreement of, you know, like over 6.5 to end the hard stop. So basically, somehow, some way, everyone needs to agree on a budget. Otherwise, we don't have a budget, and we continue to be on hard stop. Obviously, the HR board can use weighted voting as well. Like there is an out with the HR board with clearly defined and verified weighted votes. So the weighted votes can outdo. So if you can weight the votes and say that the weighted votes are over the 6.5, that works. So that's pretty much it. And then we have a list of what the work that can be done during hard stop, which includes obviously payroll and budget and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, are there any questions about what the hard stop means? Okay, so I think we're good. So I'm gonna check out, I thought this was a really, really good meeting. I felt like we started the meeting with a lot of conflict and confusion, and we're ending the meeting with very much clearer picture of how we're moving forward. It is unfortunate that we don't have the final results, but I think that we'll get them very soon with the hard stop. So it could be another, you know, it could be a day, it could be 2 days, we'll get it done. And then if anyone has alternate proposals, right? We may
I have a question here.
may need alternate proposals. Yes, quick question, then I have to go.
Yeah, what happened if someone voted and again come and change the result on the spreadsheet?
What happens if someone votes again and changes their vote?
Yes.
Their second vote is the one that counts. Anyone can re-vote, and then their first vote is canceled, and then their second vote is what counts. Okay?
Okay, when they change it directly on the spreadsheet, not on the voting form.
No, you have to vote again on the voting form.
I think that they should vote again on the voting form because otherwise it's less clear. If anyone has concerns over people doing, fake voting or whatever, we just do what's called a voting code, and there's ways to go around that. You can also verify. You can click a button. Okay, I'm ready. You can click a button that says that everyone has to sign in with their Gmail account so that then their vote can be verified through their Gmail account. So there's even more levels of verification if we're worried about that, but for now, I think we're fine. So I gotta go. Good work, everyone. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. But if someone want to vote, they can vote it instead of changing it direct, because I'm not, someone just changed the vote directly. It's good that you vote it instead if you want to change the voting.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's just whatever you guys need to do, as long as you can verify the vote and every individual can verify their vote, that's what matters. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. I'll see you guys later. I gotta go.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep this running because I'm just leaving. I'm not gonna leave. I'm just leaving physically, but I'm staying on, and it's gonna continue to record.
Okay.
Okay, and Skype me when you get back, Jay, and I'll leave the payroll with you. All right?
Okay.
Okay, I need to go.
All right, are we doing checkouts?
Yeah, I already did. Thank you very much. A little bit concerned about the budget, but I think we can figure it out. Thank you very much for all.
There's still no resolution, but we're getting closer.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Miguel. Mehdi, would you like to check out?
Yes. It was a really good session, and I know about how to make a output and bonuses calculation. I think in the next week I will work on some FN tasks, and I hopefully I can do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Lucy?
Thank for the session, and thank you guys for verifying my bonus. I appreciate your support. I'm going to be here for this 10 minutes with Albina to do tallying of the result.
Well, like I said, before you worry about that, Jay said we need to send out one more round. So I would suggest that you send out on all the Skype channels instead tonight, and then do that tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. Give people who didn't vote a chance to vote.
During Zuri team.
Yeah, send that to all the different, because I can't do that right now. So send it out to all the different octants. Tell people this is their last chance to vote, that they need to vote. Tell them how important it is, blah, blah, blah. Link the voting form to it. Because otherwise, if nothing passes, we're going to have to do this all over again, round 3. And we really don't want to have to do this all over again for round 3. Okay. Albina.
I did. I wrote my checkouts.
That's it.
Yeah.
Last but not least, me. I think we accomplished a lot to the fact that the payroll people are going to get paid, which I think is really important because we've been waiting. Even though I got some of it, I have bills that are due also, and it's important that we get paid. The people that were here tonight all work hard. and they're all payroll workers, and we all work hard and deserve to get our money. So I'm happy we got that resolved, and we'll all be paid within the next day or so. Some people tonight even. We'll try to get everybody, as many people paid tonight as we can when Jay gets back. And otherwise, I'm as always happy to be here with a group of people that I actually enjoy working with, because we all work together fairly often. Not you, Mehdi, but you seem like you're a good worker, and I can't wait till I have to do some work with you. I think this was a really educational session for going through things like the bonuses and the, how to separate everything. I think that was good instruction. And we're done. I will be here when Jay gets back. If anybody's around and wants to join, it's late. Ladies, go to sleep. It's like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning there. Go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
Go to bed. Salam alaikum. Go to bed. We'll go stand a note for you guys. For me, it's 9 o'clock at night. I need coffee. You know me, man. I'll be there, Lucy. No, when I was living in Brooklyn, I would sit with the coffee bottle on the table next to me, and I would drink 10 cups of coffee in a 3-hour session. So, bye bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Lucy, can we do the announcements on the...
Yeah, we can do it.
So now.
Yeah. Unajua nini Albina? Kuna kitu watu wamefanya tu saa hizi, nimerealize tu in front of me.
Umeona?
Nani amechange tu nini vote nikiona.
Nani?
Unaona venye anaenda haraka haraka.
Nani?
Who is president vote, my friend?
Nani?
Miguel. Ulikuwa na spreadsheet. Wende fanya hivi. Check on go to
changes. Nimeona changes.
Angalia May. May day 3, 33, 16, 3 AM, 3:16 AM. Utaona tu vile results zilikuwa. Na saa hizi. Na ucheki tena. Hey, wife.
Mimi sijui kama ndakuwa kwa hizo mapero. Tumemaliza na 25.
Na 25, okay, yeah.
Mistaki kukua payroll ndio wanilipe. Nimechoka.
Kuna payroll lingine tena baadaye?
Sikufanya huyo mbaba anasema anataka kulipa watu, lakini si saa hii unajua ameitwa. Nako on baada hajaenda unajua.
Anasema bado na record.
Aya.
Let's say an announcement on this on all world. You need to put it on a quantum. You are on quantum, Albina.
No problem. Just create one, then I'll just copy paste.
Okay. I'll put another one on.
Just create, then we'll,
I'm looking for the form first. The form. Yeah. Editor one. This one.
Yeah.
Okay, people need to vote instead. This for sending.
As GPS is to vote.
Hapa naweza rudia. Na niweke huko hata bila kitu basi. Kama watu wanaona
ndio at least make sense. Watu kama wana vote.
Nimeona watu nyumba. Sasa tutapo. Wacha niwaambie, ile hata ni vote ile ya kina chini nimpatie hata kama ni 4. Lakini hiyo nyingine niweke bila. Nimecheki nimeona watu wanachukia. Acha. Yeah. Hello all. There is the reminder. No, I think there is a word.
Sasa usingizi mali nanipeleka. Alikuwa credit tunakuja kusema pesa tunalipwa ngapi?
Kai. Hakuna
kama bado na account yangu. Ningesimama tu na yangu.
Leo kweli tumesikizana poa. Mama. Hakuna mwenye alienda na rule zake zote. Enyana kina zinafaa. Enyana.
Hapo andika haraka mimi na.
Hello.
Unapata form. Mimi ndakopi kwa yako ndo nipatie.
Final and vote.
Kai na nasikia njaa na hakuna chakula kwa hii nyumba tena.
Kwa?
Hizi kupika tu.
Kai umenikumbusha hata mimi najua nilikuja tu nikaloss.
Mimi nilikuwa nipike na nikaingia Candy Crush na nikaingia Facebook. Why.
Kwa unakanga nini nikiingia Candy Crush hivyo?
Nakwambia ninacheza mpaka nimefika 370 what 80. Nacheza leo game. That's la langi mapema. Kwanza nicheze.
Hey, is the final chance to vote for
the budget proposal.
Budget feature.
But hata jana tuliachia watu nafasi tu mingi watu hata
board budget proposal for round 2. Ngoja nitakuandika hapo.
Kwani maandika aje?
Maandika hello all, here is the final chance to vote for HR board budget proposal for round 2.
Umeandika wapi?
Ndio. Nimeandika kwa wall. New world. Yeah.
Please do so before we make the final results.
Yeah, okay. Please
do so before we make the final results.
Before we make final result. These people are just delaying us. Instead, we send form.
Hata watu wa kwanza hakuna mwenye amenini. Kana watu wa voting.
Siko tu sasa. I think acha neke HR board budget in bracket 20 in bracket May April May. Sindo? Yeah. At least acha nisikia. April May proposal. Yeah, perfect. It's understandable. Hello all, here is the final chance to vote for HR board budget proposal for round 2. Please do so before we make final results. Thank you. I'm sending.
Mtu mamini forward kwa wengine. I forward tu kwa hizo group. Zote hata Sonic saa hii ni time ya Sonic.
Okay.
Sonic.
Leo ni Thursday, ni session yako singi.
Mimi sifanyangi my friend. Hata sijaribu, hata siwezi jaribu. Aya, alafu na kwa. Kama hata kwa cobalt kwenyewe pia.
Nitaweka cobalt pia.
Hello all. Here is the final chance to vote for HR board budget proposal for okay.
Atafuta cobalt.
Ingine naitwanga aje kwa.
I will put on vizuri even. Sasa ni
usi atakukataza. Anasema usiweke. Kuna siku nimeweka kwa Phonics nikadelete tu mapema. Akaniambia toa sana. Utaweka master yako.
Baada ya kutuona hapa.
Tunaelewa watu wengi kwa Sonic ndio wengi wako tuko kwa Zuri.
Lakini acha ni check ni kama Sonic most of the people around the Sonic, let me see.
Yeah.
Akitaka mimi mimi na influencer kina nani tu vote tena tuwapatie basi kwa zero kwa sana tuteka.
Naambia tu kina Joseph wana vote.
Kama
ni lazima ipite hata kama
ni lazima. Hata imepita mara mingi sana na itapita ngoja. Si hivyo ndo wana Mike. Na ndiye alikuwa amevote mzuri kama nani mwenzake kama mpya sivote hivyo. Umecheki? Chigemi. The first voting.
Anakuanga roho chafu. Anawaambianga.
The first voting alivote kwa. Ngoja haone tena akaambia ni kama amemwambia sivote hivyo. Na ulikuwa unajua tension yangu kufanya nini? Nilikuwa nataka kutoa voting yake ya pili ni bagi ya kwanza.
Hata mimi nilikuwa nataka hivyo.
Kwa unataka
wacha nikwambie tutatoa ile ya pili usijali.
Nilikuwa nataka hivyo. Ya pili tunatoa na bagi ya kwanza.
Tutafanya hivyo kwa Sony. Tutaangalia basi. Wacha tuwapatie tu try yote hapo sasa.
Let them vote and vote
kwa shida.
Atatoa zaidi tutapata. Mimi natoa hata yote ibaki tu amevote mara moja. Usijali. Achekingi anaona nani amevote. Ayaonangi.
Aezi.
Bora tu naona kila mtu amevote. Siko tu sawa. Wapi ingine kwa ingine? I think that is okay for now.
Hizo tu mbili.
Can we be able to put on phonic astration?
Phonic. Sai.
Taizi ni like 8 AM. Unajua ikiwanga
weka tu basi.
Sisi tukiwanga 5 AM wako 9 AM.
Weka tu.
Naogopa wewe.
Atakukataza mimi alinikataza nikadelete ingine hapo. Tunangoja maswali.
Atakuja huko na mbio zingine kali.
Hebu mimi niendange.
Akocha nilale.
Mimi nalala hadi sikudanganya wanilipe tu pesa wakitaka.
Acha nilale leo mapema ama alikuwa anatungoja hapa sisi.
Hapana. Wacha nani atamsaidia. Steve atamsaidia. Si anasema ana record tu yeye ameenda na watu. Hata hayuko hapa. Alienda si watu walikuwa wanamuita huku Steve. He's not available.
Okay.
Alituacha tu. Atarudi baadaye.
Atarudi baadaye. Na nenda anaweza kuja kufanya na Steve nini? Baya
Steve amesema tulale zaidi. Steve anakuwa
Steve anakuwa present. Lakini Steve anaogopanga huyo jamaa sijui kwa nini.
Anaogopa mgani?
Steve anaogopa. Guy, unakumbuka ile time yenye anasema Albina eti alikuja na akaitana. Eti kama hakuna mtu acha niende. Imagine Steve alikuwa huko anaogopa kumjibu. Akatoroka.
Kwa nini?
Tulicheka na Joseph Steve anasema sisi nilikuwa huko anaitana mimi sikuwa anamjibu. Nikamwambia haki ya Mungu wewe pia chenanga na madharau. Eti akiniongelesha vibaya. Eti vile nimeona wanakuleta huko juu mimi nikaogopa kumjibu. Akatoroka. Na nani anagopanga mtu? Hata Joseph anaweza mwambia kitu. Anamogopa sana. Na nini? Na Steve kama Steve K hapa hizi wako anaogopa hizi ingia. Ili hata kae. Kwa kwani naogopaje? Ile tena kuogopa yake. Enda hadi mwisho. Saizi bado watu wanaenda kufanya voting, my friend. Tutafanya the final, kila mtu akishavota.
Usijali, hata hiyo si shida. Si wako tutupie mida vote dakika ya mwisho na nikuje tena chini.
Na si ndio? Na hata sijavuta hizi na vote baadaye, acha wavote.
Hata spread zenye wanafanya tutakopi tu na tuanze tena Fred, hata ina wakitaka wabadilishe. Alafu kingine nikajinga kanabadilishia kwenyewe.
Nikajinga ajui nini strategy. You vote it in a different again. Na weke zimezika kaka. Amesikia hivyo akaponyoka. Wacha tuonane mabada. At least nikilala mapema ndio nitaamka mapema.
Wacha mimi nilale bwana.
Leo tutakuwa na session yetu ya all one.
Wow, tunafaa kuwa nayo. Kama tutakuwa nayo
tunafaa kuwa nayo. Tuongee vitu
tutakuwa tunayo. Si sana. Mimi nitakuwa nimelala.
See you. Acha nijiwekee kwa mlazi sasa.
Okay, bye.
Night. Yeah.
Si ni 2.5 tulimaliza hiyo masa.
Ilikuwa we extended for
2.25. Ama sisi tuli extend kutuma form. Sasa ni 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
What?
Nitakopi kwako nimeshatoa document.
Haina shida. Wewe utapata hapo nimeweka. Si ni session utapata hii ya juu.
Yeah.
Nimerekodi kwa ya Wednesday. Asante.
Okay.
No, 2 years up.